There are many silver linings to this horrendous disaster, and with it has come an incredible opportunity.
I'm optimistic when I see a room full of folks who want to take advantage of the opportunities, and that's a good thing from our perspective. It's a great thing.
Well, you know, it's like the Israelis say, you know, once in a while a good crisis is not bad. You come up with new things.
We were seeing a lot of new things. But wasn't this supposed to be about Gulf Coast reconstruction?
We're especially interested in Gulf Coast reconstruction. And does this have anything to do with that?
This is for bomb detonation and ammunition storage.
Perimeter and physical security, mainly anti-ram road blockers.
This particular unit can be used in military applications.
Wow, so it's a real like catastrophe toilet, basically.
All this stuff would be great for the people of New Orleans if they were going to fight a war. Where was the stuff about helping people? Ah, here it was. The pavilion from Central Asia.
Kyrgyz people are ready to help the people of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama by erecting yurts there for them as a temporary shelter.
And here's the yurt.
Oh my God.
This is it. You can cover it up, you can build a fire, you can open it up, and if there's a flood, you can just take it up in less than an hour. They're interested in sending one free of charge to Louisiana as a test, if you're interested. So, yep.
The yurt was the only solution here about helping people, but the government reps didn't seem very interested. There's no money in yurts. We decided we could outdo everyone at this conference and beat the free market at its own game. We would invent the ultimate disaster technology, a device so sophisticated it could protect anyone from pretty much anything. But it would cost so much that only the richest businessmen could afford it.
They kind of just flatten out.
Yeah.
The only question was, what company would make such a thing?
You've got to think Halliburton.
For they are the ones who do the research to make the mud, to build the tool, to run in the well, to make the test, to log the zone, to set the packer, cement the pipe and fire the gun, to perforate, to pump the gel that carries the sand, that props the frac, completes the well to produce the crude that runs the world for all the people all over the earth who live in the house that oil built.
Halliburton has been the world leader in extracting profit from every kind of disaster. They made billions off the first Gulf War and its sequel, and hundreds of millions off Katrina, all paid for by the U.S. government, whose vice president was once their own CEO.
Find the big red, find the big red, find the big red, hustling on.
If anyone could make a killing from total disaster, Halliburton would be the one. This morning, we got up really early, drove up to the very fancy hotel, which shall remain nameless because they threatened us if we used the material with their name. But, you know, what's it called, basically, the hotel?
Ritz-Carlton.
Ritz-Carlton, that one.
How you doing?
I'm Northrop Goody. I'm here with Halliburton, with Fred Wolf. I'm just helping demo a product. So, would either one of you mind helping us demo the suits? We have 3 of them. So you have to actually step into it, pull it on. It's kind of like a coverall. You'll wear it?
I'll wear it.
All right, great. You're a good sport. You're a really good sport. The catastrophic loss conference was for insurance people. They knew numbers, and we were about to show them some pretty simple math. With Gilda, we tried scary. With Reggie, we tried gross. Now, we would go for ridiculous.
We really appreciate being invited to speak on this panel. A lot of you work with the insurance industry, of course. Insurance has become extremely worried about some grave new dangers to people that we're seeing in the world around us today. And I'm, of course, talking about climate change and the disasters that it brings. But I can personally guarantee you that level heads will always be able to turn lemons into lemonade. Consider the Black Plague. This was an unspeakably rotten event, of course, in which 1/3 of Europe's population died in great agony. No one, of course, would wish such a thing on any civilization. Yet without it, without the Black Plague, the old business models of Europe would never have been overturned by the entrepreneurs of the Renaissance. And what would the world be without the Mona Lisa? Or, closer to home, how about the Great Deluge? This world-ending disaster, literally, was surely seen as a terrible catastrophe by Noah's contemporaries and perhaps by Noah himself. Yet Noah was ready to seize the day, and at the end of that day, not only was there a whole new world, but Noah found himself with a monopoly of the animals. For those of us in positions of responsibility, however, who might have to take charge in a crisis, even more innovative solutions are necessary. I'd like now to introduce my colleague here, Dr. Northrop Goody, who's the head of our Emergency Products Development Unit at Halliburton. And Dr. Goody will be showing some mock-ups of some items that his unit has developed.
We want something that's going to be able to save a human being no matter what Mother Nature throws at him. And so this is the answer. This is the Halliburton Survivaball. It's 3 easy steps for deployment: suiting up, inflating, and of course, launching. Launching out of a building, and we have an artist's rendition of what it might be like in Houston when we launch our Survivaballs. In the event of extreme catastrophe, there might be a scarcity of resources. In this case, we've got a Survivaball here that's going up and extracting resources, in this case from an animal. And you don't want to be exposed to the elements, but you still want to be able to extract resources from, for example, a cow. They're going to be able to go underwater, rated at 50 feet. They can be used in any condition. It doesn't matter whether you're in a landslide in California or even in the Arctic. Of course, any other conditions, whether it's tsunamis or tornadoes, the Survivaball is designed to withstand. But the best part of the Survivaball is that people need people. And so our biggest inspiration for the way that a community should work with Survivaballs comes from biology. As some of you probably know, amoebas gather together and actually form another body. They aggregate. And so these one-celled organisms come together as a single body. For example, here's a raft formation of Survivaballs in the ocean, floating, communicating, exchanging nutrients, differentiating function. Last of all, this is literally thousands of Survivaballs dancing through the streets.
And we'll be happy to take any questions. So if there are any more technical ones for Northrop here or general ones. Yep.
I mean, in my mind, this clearly also plays right into terrorist attacks. What kind of defense mechanisms do you envision against biological, chemical, radiological attack?
If you could demonstrate the turtle position, please, that would be great. Basically, if you duck down...
I'll assume they'll have some kind of bubble mask or something.
Yeah, visor, heads-up display, the whole thing.
That's very cool. So. To me, it was just the way it fit. Was probably if you're ever going to make them, so people want to wear them for a long time, you have more cushioning or something. Yeah. But I can imagine they'd be pretty darn expensive to make you really market them.
Well, yeah.
Although I guess the people who need them, most of the the price should be no object, right? And if you're getting them for say the
that's right.
cabinet, to pick a
Hi, Northrop.
Gary, how are you? It's very interesting. One of the things that we're trying to do is modeling of terrorism around the world. So, and this is clearly, something that plays right into that kind of an event.
Well, it does. That's it. It's supposed
much more so than, Katrina.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, in the event We'd done all we could to show these people what sucked about letting greed run our future.
Oh dear.
But instead of freaking out, they just took our business cards.
Hello. Wonderful, and if you want to take one of mine here.
Our effort had been a failure.
It's not very well articulated, really.
And come to think of it, all of our efforts had been failures. But you know, a yes man never gives up. We knew we could do it. All we needed was a whole new approach. Maybe making fun of stupid ideas was a stupid idea. We had to get smart, because the people with the really stupid ideas were very, very smart. For Friedman and his followers, disaster was not just a chance to get rich, but an opportunity to push through all kinds of unpopular policies, like privatizing public schools, shutting down public hospitals, and kicking people out of their homes. This is the Lafitte Housing Project. It survived Katrina intact. That was lucky for the thousands of residents who wanted to come home and rebuild. So what did the government do? They decided to tear it down.
The disaster for us